and welcome to the November 10th, 2014 Department of Social Services Board meeting. I'd like to say welcome to those in the audience as well as those who may be viewing us from home. And I'd like at this time to call the meeting to order and then observe a moment of silent prayer or meditation. Amen. According to the clerk to the board, there are no individuals signed up for public comment, correct? Okay, so then we are at the adopt or revise today's agenda.
I move the adoption of the agenda as presented.
One second, I think Ms. Elliott has a couple of add-on items.
We have two budget amendments that we want to run by the board before we take them to the commissioner, so if we could add those to the agenda.
And these are allocations that have come in for LEAP and for Child Protective Services, and they will be going to the county commissioners, their first December meeting, or maybe even their second November meeting. So we want to get them to this body before they go to the county commissioners. So now, Mr. James.
I move the approval of the agenda as recommended and the changes that are being made.
Great, thank you. A second? Becky, you second it? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, so the agenda is amended. Also included in your packet were the minutes from our previous meeting, which was our workshop retreat. I will take a motion to adopt those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, great. The motion's been made and seconded to adopt the minutes of our workshop. Any changes or any problem with that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. So now we are at items for report, and we've got holiday cheer with Joy Boykin and Retta O'Quinn. Oh, it's Retta O'Quinn and
Well, first, after about 14 or 15 years, this will be my last year, and I will be turning over the authority of managing the Adult Foster Christmas Project to Tammy. And so I'm here to say I want this to be our best and most successful Adult Foster Christmas Project. Pitt County Social Services, we work very hard to ensure that all of our wards and other indigent residents that live in adult care homes, and our adults range from 18 to 95, we make sure and seek assistance from the community, individuals or other organizations that can help us to meet their needs at Christmas. It is at this time of year that they do wait on to either have their personal care items replenished or their clothing, their other needs that they have. We are looking for sponsors or any individual that might help us with this. We have families, once again, any other individuals, church groups, community that can help us with purchasing or taking on hygiene items, little snacks, personal care, other issues that they may have. We have lists already in our possession of residents in our wards. Definitely we have those ready to go. And a typical list might be that they would need socks, undergarments, sweatpants, and of course, again, their personal care items. So if you're able to assist us with either sponsoring or adopting a resident and their need list, contact myself, Retta O'Quinn at Pitt County Department of Social Services, and or Tammy Corbett as well. We're both at Department of Social Services, and my number is 902-1205. If sponsoring a resident is not something you may be interested in doing, that because it will require you to go and do your shopping, we also do accept a monetary donation that would assist us so the social workers can go out and do that for the residents and wards. So thank you, please. 2014, this was going to be the best year ever for our residents. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Joy Boykin, and I'm with the Adoption Placement Unit, and I'm here to talk about the Holiday Cheer Project. The Holiday Cheer has been around for over 30 years here at Pitt County DSS, and it is a program that was designed to help meet the Christmas needs of the children in our foster care, in our legal custody. Currently, we have 142 youth that the agency will be responsible for providing Christmas gifts for Holiday Cheer. You can donate in 2 or 3 different ways as far as this program goes. Monetary donations can be sent to the agency, and they can be sent to the address listed, Pitt County Department of Social Services, 1717 West 5th Street, Greenville, North Carolina. Attention to the Foster Children's Christmas Fund. Or you also can donate unwrapped new toys, or you can actually sponsor a specific child. We would provide you a child's age, their initials, and we would provide you with their wish list items that they would like to have for Christmas. And those are the 3 different ways that we're asking the community to assist us with meeting the foster children's Christmas needs this year. And if anyone needs more information, please feel free to call me, Joy Boykin, at 902-1141. And I want to thank all of you for sharing the true meaning of Christmas with our children in Pitt County.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the LEAP update with Gwen Burns.
Okay, it's that time of year again, and we are ready to start the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. This is the LEAP program, and the LEAP program is a program that provides a one-time annual vendor payment to eligible families to help with their heating expenses. Currently, the program guidelines includes applications will be taken beginning December 1st, 2014 through March 31st, 2015, or until funds are exhausted. When the funds are exhausted, the program will end. The county mails the LEAP checks directly to the vendor on the behalf of the approved recipients of the benefits, and the benefits will either be $200, $300, or $400. The benefit amount is based on your household size and the income in the household. The total funds for this year are approximately $1,097,372. As it was last year, we do have a priority group, citizens aged 60 years and older, or who are disabled and receiving services through the Division of Aging and Adult Services can apply from December the 1st, 2014 through December 31st, 2014. Disabled persons are defined as receiving SSI, SSA, or veterans benefits. This has changed from last year. Last year, the elderly and disabled had a 2-month period during which they could apply. This year, it has been changed to 1 month. So as of January 1st, 2015, anyone can apply. And the program will run from until March 31st, 2015, or until funds are exhausted. Income verification is a must for all applicants. We must know what your income is for the month prior to the date that you are applying for the program. And this includes wages that are received in the month prior to your application, the gross income of your Social Security benefits, gross amount of any retirement you receive, child support and contributions received from anyone outside of your home, any other income that you receive. We also need the names, date of birth, and Social Security numbers of all household members, and we need the proof of how you heat your home. We will need your address and the provider of your heating resource and your account number. Everyone who lives under your roof must be included in the application. You can apply at the Department of Social Services, and this year we are again located off-site at the old Strive building. The LEAP applications will be taken at 1710 West 6th Street, Greenville. And you can reach us at 252-902-1110. We also have community partners that are assisting us with taking LEAP applications this year. Council on Aging will be assisting us again this year, and we also have community churches and other agencies that are assisting us in taking applications. We currently have about 8 agencies that have agreed to take LEAP applications for us, and we advertised that we wanted to seek out churches and agencies that are in remote areas of the county so that we could serve citizens who are not able to get into Greenville to make an application. Currently, we have agencies in Ayden, Bethel, Farmville, Fountain, Greenville, Grifton, Grimes, and Grimesland that have agreed to take applications for us. Today, I am not announcing the names of those agencies because they have agreed to take applications, but they have not given me their business hours or the dates that they will be open for operation. There will be some agencies and churches, well, there will be some churches that will be taking applications on Saturdays also. So we're trying to serve the community as much as possible. It's going to be a delicate balancing act for us in terms of processing our applications because the agencies that are agreeing to take applications cannot process the applications. They can only complete the applications and bring them to the Department of Social Services, and then we will have to process those applications. So at this point, we have no knowledge of how many applications we may be getting from these other agencies, our community partners, and we're hoping that we will have enough staff available that can process the applications once we get them.
And Gwen, what is the plan for announcing locations and times once you have finalized all
By
that?
the end of this week, and I've finalized all of the community partners that will be working with us, about half of them have given me their dates and times, and I'm waiting on about 4 more partners. But once we have that information, then I will be releasing a public notice to the community, and Kiara will release it through our public information office here at the county. It will go to all the radio stations, all the TV stations. It will go to all the townships. It goes to the mayors of all the townships. I am also releasing it to all of the staff here at Pitt County Department of Social Services so it can be distributed to wherever they go in their communities, to their churches, to the grocery stores, and other places like that where we can put the public notice up. And also the community agencies that will be assisting us will also be putting the public notice out to the community also.
And you do share it with the utilities so that if they have a customer who called in and maybe had an issue, they could refer them back over to
Yeah, we will
DSS?
share it with the utilities also, and also the folks at our front desk, they're given all the information about the program also. When someone calls in, they will be able to get the information they need.
Great. Questions from anybody else on the board? Thanks, Gwen. NC Fest update, Brian Averett.
Good afternoon. Well, we've made it through a week of the hard launch. As y'all are aware, the hard launch started last Monday a week ago, November 3rd, and things went smoothly. It is a slow process, but the system did not crash. We're working through getting the reviews in to the system. The new implementation requires that all Medicaid reviews be completed in the NCFAS system. And our approach to this, we have an on-site support person who is assigned to us from the Raleigh office. He and the lead workers are working with the caseworkers in small groups as part of the transition. So we have a bank of computers that are together, and and in the small group, there's either a lead worker or our on-site support person there with the caseworkers. So as they're working on the cases, they have immediate access to somebody instead of having to wait and get back to it. It can be dealt with right then, to help them work through any difficulty they experience with the new process. The new process requires that as part of the conversion, that the Medicaid case be entered as an application. So you have to enter in information as an application, then go in and close out the old case, which is not an EIS. So the process does take longer, and it varies depending on the complexity of the case. A case that's simpler, that doesn't have as many eligibility factors in it, not as many people in the household, could take 30 minutes to an hour to do. And then the other end of it, a long-term care case, nursing home Medicaid for someone who's in nursing home placement, could take as long as 2.5 hours. So anywhere from 30 minutes to 2.5 hours per case. Certainly, the cases that have more family members in a household, more information has to be put into the system, so it takes longer. The staff have done an excellent job on reducing the number of reviews that we had that had to be completed. Those reviews were the reviews that the state had extended while we were focusing on the applications implementation of NCFAS. That was a statewide thing that was done. The cases were extended, and they did an excellent job. All but 424 of those were completed by the end of October. So our total number of reviews for November is 2,320, and for December, 2,501. So we came very close to completing everything that was due at the end of October, but the 424 have rolled over and are being handled in November. The employees did have a break last week and a week ago from the required overtime, but we're going to have to go back to some more overtime because of this implementation and the process for right now getting into it. The funds for paid overtime have been exhausted, so any overtime work now will be in the form of compensatory time earned. We are not going to expect anybody to work overtime during the week of Thanksgiving, of course. So we'll return to that. We're using other caseworkers other than review caseworkers to help us with this project. So when they work their overtime hours, their time is devoted to this project. So that's where we are right now. We're hoping that the processing times will decrease as people become more familiar with it. But I'm pleased, everybody working together. It has been an orderly transition so far, and I'm very pleased, and can't say enough about how diligent the staff have been to help us get the reviews to where they need to be so we can work on this implementation.
I have several questions. You didn't mention food stamps. How are we on that?
We're current with the food stamp reviews. They're keeping that going. We have, as far as the applications in food and nutrition services, we have 341 pending applications, but we've seen an increase in applications because a lot of people are coming in to apply for the energy programs. We're getting more applications there, but I spoke with the review supervisor this morning in that area, and they're current with that program.
All right, how many cases do you have in Pitt County, or do you anticipate having in Pitt County? You know, you were saying that you were doing so many, like, 2020 in November and December, so forth. How many do you have overall for Pitt County?
Well, which program are you thinking of?
Well, we'll say both for all of them.
Okay. We have about 30,000 recipients in food and nutrition services, and that's about 16,500 households.
All right.
And in Medicaid, we have about 28,000 Medicaid recipients. About 6,000 of those are receive SSI, so they automatically get Medicaid. So we're responsible for the remainder of that.
On your crossover workers, you know, that we've always been talking about, working with Pitt Community College and so forth, how do we stand as far as these people being able to do both Medicaid and food stamps?
Right. This process, as far as having the review caseworkers fully cross-trained, that's part of the process we're in now, because the ones that are not, like, say they're working with food and nutrition services reviews, you asked about those, they're keeping those current. But at the same time, they're working with this Medicaid review project we're doing. So that's part of the process of being able to integrate those two and have a universal review worker. The Medicaid worker, I'm sorry, the intake workers are already universal. They take applications in all programs, so now we're working with the review workers so that they can also be universal.
All right, we will let our employees take work home with them to do at home with the computers and so forth. How is that working out? Are we still doing that?
We are, that's working well. We have 4 employees who are doing that, 2 in the review area, 2 in processing applications. We found that they are, the productivity is higher by their working at home, and we have employees that have shown that they can produce a high level of productivity. Those are the ones that have been allowed to work from home.
I was hoping when they could come home, maybe we could help get rid of the overtime, but evidently that's not going to work, is it?
Well, that doesn't eradicate it completely. You're
That-
right. That's right. And our plan is to get to a point, to transition to a point where we don't have to do this overtime.
There's one more thing I'm concerned and very happy with, of course, is that the state, you say, is furnishing one person from Raleigh to make sure that we're kind of up to par. Is that's what this person is?
He's here to assist us with the transition. He is the expert in using the system with this implementation, and so that's why we're having him work one-on-one he's actually working directly with the workers along with our lead worker.
Does he report back to our director, or does he report back to the county manager or anybody to keep us up to date?
He reports to the supervisors and to me as far as what he's doing with the workers. He is a state employee. He is employed by them, and his supervisor was here last week. He was here on site and came and visited.
Well, I'm sure that the director, you're involved with that too, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I follow up with them on a regular basis to see how it's going. In fact, on Monday, because of the conversion, I went over there to talk with them and talked with him too, and things seem to be going well, so.
Good. And you're keeping our manager informed with the progress and so forth?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I have no other questions.
Ryan, I have one question.
Yes.
How is the technology piece working in all of this? Are y'all jiving?
I'm sorry.
Are y'all jiving?
Well, yes, there are some cases that they're having trouble getting in, but then we follow the process of getting a help ticket on it, which is the protocol for doing that. But for the most part, yes, we're getting cases in. There are still some that they have difficulty with. But as far as the system itself is working, and but it's no different than any system you use. You know, we want to have fewer and fewer that we can't get through, that there might be a glitch with, but there is a process and we're following the process.
But I'm talking about like Hardik Patel. Is his bandwidth and all those kind of good things
Yes.
jiving with
Yes,
what y'all are
yes,
doing
yes.
now? Okay.
It is.
One more thing. Food stamps. Are we up to date? We're not 2 or 3 weeks behind.
No, sir.
We're up to date now with them.
Correct.
And, you know, at one time, of course, I know I was giving y'all a hard time, the lines and so forth. But you don't have the lines out there now that you,
No, no, sir, and.
all of that's gone.
And that's
Okay,
why it
that's
shows you the dedication of the staff. They're being able to keep that constant, and we're adding on and working with the
Good,
new
that's very good.
implementation.
I know the people appreciate that too.
Yes.
Mary, Coral, questions for Brian?
I just appreciate not getting emails. I just wanted to say that.
Thank
The
you.
emails
We're
have
happy to.
disappeared. And I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think it says a lot that these staff are willing to take on that overtime, and I'm glad you're able to compensate them in some way.
Thank you.
And I think from the board perspective, if you guys can be prepared at the December meeting to give us an update on that overtime, and because going into the holidays, nobody wants to see staff working around the
Sure.
clock kind of thing.
Exactly.
They said they're not gonna do it during Thanksgiving, though.
Right, but
Right.
then you've
We're
got
not doing
Christmas
it
coming up
Thanksgiving,
right behind
right.
All the
that.
Christmas is
December, our
coming,
goal
yeah.
is to do as little as possible, but we still gonna have to do
Yeah,
some.
well, we got these new people coming on board, and that should help
Right.
the situation out a great deal.
They're starting to roll out, so
Right.
they're helping us.
Agency demographics.
Right.
Jan Elliott.
Right, okay. I understand that periodically we have given you an overview of our agency and what the staffing patterns look like and that kind of thing. With all of the posting and recruitment that's been going on lately, some questions have been raised, and so we wanted to be sure that we updated you all as to where we stood. So, you can see that we currently have overall 118 employees who are African American, and we have 107 who are white. So that's the first slide that you're seeing. We also have some other groups represented, but those are not significant as far as numbers are concerned. When you look at our new employees, I know there's been some question about who we've been hiring, and you can again see that 11 of our new staff that have come on, and this is through October, were African American, and 8 have been white. So wanted to give you that little overview again. We've also decided to take a look at our supervisory demographics. You can see that, and you can see that right now we have 13 supervisors that are African American, and I can't see the number. My eyes are not good. Okay.
Looks like 19.
19, right. Who, I guess I can't get that number right, that are white. And you can see that in income maintenance, what that looks like as far as our staff over there. There are 56 who are African American and 44 who are white. And then in our services area, it's almost evenly split. It's 36 African American, 35 white. And in child support, again, 19 African American and 11 that are white. So I'm not going over male versus female, because as you can see from these charts, we're significantly a female-dominated organization. So thought it was a good opportunity to let you kind of see what our demographics look like and how the new staff coming on board, it's not really changing that at all, and that our supervisory structure pretty close, not quite exactly, but pretty close mimics what our staffing patterns look like.
What I'm concerned is they're able to do the job.
Yes, sir.
You
That's
don't
what
want to
we're-
hire them if they're not.
That's right.
Okay.
We're concerned
Well,
about
that's
that
a-
too.
yes.
So we put
Well,
folks through an
that should be your
extensive
main
process.
concern.
That's what we put folks through, an
Okay.
extensive process. And you do need to know that for most of our positions now, we are getting hundreds of applicants, not 20 or 30. With the first group of 10 that income maintenance put out of the group that the commissioners allowed for this year, we had over 400 applicants. So, and those numbers, we've got a couple of hundred for each of the income maintenance positions that are posted now. So we're getting a significant number of applications, and a lot of them are really good applicants. And clearly, we can't interview all those folks, but we certainly are taking a look at every single one of those folks who submits an application.
This should be very important for the future. For our employees, we'll get better employees. They should be able to do the job much better, much quicker.
bilingual?
Yes, we are asking on our posting, we always say bilingual preferred. We do have several bilingual staff, and we have 2 that are full-time interpreters for us.
You have those spread throughout the agency, or?
The bilingual staff and the interpreters are pretty much housed over across the river in the Human Services Center, but they do have availability to the folks over in this building when they're needed.
Because our area is very heavy.
Right, it is, what, about
Populated.
5 to 6% of the population would be Hispanic, and we certainly are trying to encourage bilingual folks to apply.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
And I'm gonna get this in video writing.
Yes, ma'am,
Thank you.
I've made a note.
And before we move into the items for decision, the 2 budget amendments that we added would typically have been on our consent agenda. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to adopt the 2 budget amendments before we
So
move in.
moved.
Second?
It's been moved by Ms. Perkins and then seconded by Mr. James. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Now move to items for decision. First item on here is consideration of adoption of a code of conduct, which was included in your agenda package and includes the items we talked about at the retreat that we held for our October meeting. If anyone has anything they'd like to see added, changed, if they're okay with it, I think what Ms. Elliott would like to see is us adopt it and all sign off on it before this day is over.
I think it looks good.
So is that a motion?
That is a motion that we adopt.
Second?
All right, so we know.
How often are we gonna,
I was gonna say, every year, like in November, when we look at our calendar and the code, we need to bring all of this back for annual review and an approval by the boards that's sitting at that time. If that sounds good to everybody?
I think that's important too, that you come back and,
it's
because if
certainly-
we're not, this is something new that we're doing, and
We need reminders.
that's right. Each year we ought to kind of.
I just sort of have a standing slate of things that come up, the review of the mission and vision,
Yes.
and review of the code of conduct, review of the
That's for all of-
calendar,
yeah, for
and make
all of
sure we
those.
get everything reviewed each year. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Otherwise, the code of conduct has been adopted, and we would like to see everybody sign it before they leave today. We ask at the retreat that the staff go back and look at mission and vision statements used by other county departments. You would
I
have
think she wants this one.
public, yeah, public healths, the counties, and is this your existing?
This is our existing at DSS.
Would you like us to confirm this, or do you want us to take these and potentially come back with suggested changes?
Well, for us, we would like you to review that and make sure that you as a board support this mission vision. And if you as a board want to establish your own mission and vision statement, then that would be what we would suggest. The others are, in fact, there are the actual agency ones, and the county one are
I
for the
like
departments.
having the others. In reading this,
Uh-huh.
I like having the other, mission and vision statement, because I've not thought about it before. But I like being able to read those, and I don't have a problem with what you have.
So, do we as a board want to develop one that says what the mission of our board is? And if so, do we want to take this with us and think about it? Or as a board, do we want to just endorse the department's mission and vision
And
I think-
maintain it as ours
and
as well.
maintain it as ours?
I like that. I make the motion if that's what's appropriate.
And I second it.
Great. So we, the board of the Department of Social Services, come together to support the mission of the department. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The Next is, in your packet, you had, and we had several samples of these at the workshop, a way to evaluate the activities of the board. And in our packet on page 13 today is the one I think we all, at that October meeting, liked the best. So I guess we're looking for a motion to adopt this monthly evaluation form. It would be completed at the close of each board meeting by the members, and then reviewed by staff and periodically reported out if there are issues or concerns that we addressed in those evaluations.
I'll move that we accept this as stated in page 13. our
I
notes.
second it.
Okay, it's been moved by Becky and seconded by Mary, so all in favor, please let it be known by saying aye. And I think Ms. Elliott would like the first one done today, and it may be helpful in the future is if we put the board date on it as we leave it at the place, so as y'all compile them, you'll know which meeting they
What's
were
the
from.
day, thing?
Will this one be used today, or are we going to,
You can start with it today.
so
We'll
we
put
will
one in your
use
packet.
page 13?
No, there's a blank one.
Okay, right there.
I had a
All right,
blank one.
Got it.
Yes, that's from here.
So after I said that, I wasn't sure if everybody had
Want
one.
us to do it today?
Yes, sir, please.
And we'll put one in your packet each month, so you'll have it.
Okay. And then at the workshop, we also talked about, and this has been something we've looked at over the last year, is creating a performance tool to use with evaluating the director. Ms. Elliott brought forth her ideas for consideration at the workshop. We now have it in front of us. And if everyone is okay with this evaluation, this is what we will use to annually determine the performance of our director.
Though I may have some weaknesses in these weights, or
Yeah.
maybe a skip.
The factors have not been weighted. I wanted you all to do the factor weight rating for me.
Okay.
The others, I think, were pretty easy to do, but the factors, I felt like y'all, since y'all selected the factors, that you needed to weight the factors also.
Okay, so,
I want to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
This business on Pitt County Board of Social Services monthly evaluation, I never hear the time, ending time, or a lot of this stuff. What about that?
like the very last
Yeah,
item,
we never,
did we start on time at 12:30?
well, we do, but the ending time is what I'm talking about.
Well, that would be where we would have that comment drug
Well,
on
what, I mean, we need to
unnecessarily.
have, I'd say, 1 o'clock, 1:30, whatever it might be. If
Our-
you're gonna
Hang on
do
the
it,
agenda.
otherwise, why have
That's
it?
right.
Our goal is to conduct the business of the board, I think, in an hour.
All right.
So if we're
Well,
not out of here,
1:30, that,
if
I
we're
like
not
that.
out of here,
I like that.
I think lately, Eugene, we have been,
much
better
more- much more on
at the
target.
length of the time of
All
board.
right, so
because
that's what I want to
you
know,
and
so
I are
I'll
not
be able to
rushing
put down
away.
here, otherwise.
And I think we recognize that there are some board meetings that will run longer. But our goal, I think,
I
is
think
to do it
timely
within
manner
an
is
hour.
good. I don't want the public to think that we're not dedicating enough time to do it.
Mr. Manager, you had,
So as a suggestion, you may want to do like the Board of Commissioners do on your agenda. On the right-hand column, you show the page number corresponding to the agenda item. We also put a projected time after the
Yeah.
DSS director.
I like that.
We estimate each item. It gives you a guideline. If she thinks the meeting's gonna take 2 hours because it's really lengthy, or an hour, that might be something to judge that factor, that indicator on your.
I think that's good,
Okay, we can start doing that.
yeah.
And that's more flexible.
and
Yeah,
we've been
much more.
massaging the layout of the agenda
Right.
as we move to consent and report and decision. So that's, I think, a natural evolution.
It also gives staff and presenters a timeline of how much time they're expected to speak or not.
So on the director's plan, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors, and she would like us to help weight them.
can we bring our suggestion at the next meeting rather than handle
Just
it
look at
now?
the six
let's
of
do
them,
that.
and
So
just
that-
know that the six need to add up to 100%.
Yeah,
when
because
we're
I was
done.
saying I couldn't do no, my math didn't work.
What is it? What one is that?
That's on pages
Performance
14,
14
15, 16.
Through
but-
16?
But you're looking at the
17.
weights
Through
on
17?
16 and 17 to help assign the weights.
Well, what did I do?
So
That's more.
if everybody will come back to December with some ideas on weighting, that would be great. Also, at this October workshop, we talked about the potential to change our meetings in the new calendar year to Tuesdays so that we did not conflict with the county commissioners and having to change our meeting dates when there was a holiday or a shift in the board calendar or the county commissioners calendar. So in your packet today, it looks like Susan has gone out there and double checked that we can get this space every Tuesday. And that, so here would be the board meeting dates for next calendar year. And we also said that we would move the time to 3:30 in the afternoon, staying with that goal of an hour to an hour and a half. We would be out of the building.
My baby said at 2 o'clock I have to leave. You all don't babysit, do you?
No, unfortunately.
And I've got to go
Fortunately-
there. They come,
Fortunately, I don't.
well, I thought we were going, that's for even 1:30. I thought our meetings would be over at 1:30.
That's the existing schedule. We had, and you may have left the meeting in October when we talked about if we shifted to 3:30 in the afternoon, then we weren't breaking up staff's day. We weren't, and we were on Tuesday, we weren't always having to, because we can't, we
When
aren't.
did y'all
al-
discuss this? I must
At,
have left.
at the retreat,
I don't remember doing
at,
that. Because I'd have been against
We might
3:30.
want to wait until next month to
yes,
consider
and this is, it was just for consideration.
Oh,
We'll wait until next month. to
Oh,
Was
I-
Tuesday
I-
still a good day, just to change that from Monday to Tuesday, and still considering the time? Is it okay to have consistent, is it okay to decide on Tuesday being the day rather than Monday? Regardless of the
today.
time.
Yeah, and I just
These
think
are
we
every
have to let Susan know what to check so she can check for availability.
You
I'm
start
with
at
the day.
3:30. Oh, I'm not doing.
I don't like the
Not my
fluctuation because I
question. I ain't gonna be
can't
here.
remember, is
Well,
it Monday or Tuesday or what? So I like having a consistent day.
Would a better time on Tuesday be better for you, Mr. James?
3:30 is not a good time for me, but don't worry about me. I mean, that's just a bad day for, I mean, at time, I got too many other activities that's going on. I babysit and I don't babysit. I have to pick up kids at school and I've been doing it for years and I'm not about to stop now. Let's put it that way. But don't even consider that. But to me, those grandkids mean more than social service. That's the number one priority. So, Mr. Joey, don't worry about that. Don't worry about me. That's a minor thing.
Mr. James,
Yeah.
children are important in all of our lives, and I certainly would want to see you having to give up that detail with your children because you're
I'm
you're
not
a
gonna
role
give you
model.
that, so you don't worry
But
about it.
I'm saying I don't want to see anything pressure onto that.
Yeah, I didn't
So
realize
I
it was
think we should
3:30.
consider a
3:30
different
is the worst
time.
time to work for me.
And
All right,
we-
let's
we'll
go
let-
ahead. Don't even worry about that.
Can we agree on
solve
the
that
day,
problem.
Mr. James?
Huh?
Can we agree on the day?
Yeah, any day is all right with me,
All right.
except
So
when you
let's,
come to 3:30, then it's not all right with me.
let's
Susan,
work on the time,
Can
Susan.
you review other times?
Anytime except, that's the
Well, no,
only
it-
time
it
I'm really
wasn't
locked
any-
in.
It wasn't any time, Mr. James, because other folks had conflicts
All right.
early in the morning, and we were
Well,
trying to
what's
move
wrong
on.
with the time we have now?
Nothing. We were looking at something that got us away from the meal and lunch and got us in and got us out and just conducted business and moved on. That's how it came about
Yeah.
to look at that time. Because Susan had to check the calendar for availability, so we gave her a time to go look at. If we want her to go back and look at 12:30 for those same dates, we'll ask Susan to go back and look at Tuesdays at
Well,
12:30.
don't worry about me.
Let's keep it
I
as
don't
we
want
have it
anyone.
now.
What options are available on Tuesdays of each month? If we know if Tuesday is a good day, then what are our
Tuesday, that-
options for time frame on Tuesdays?
I guarantee you Tuesday's a good day, Paul, to do year round, just about.
I don't have a problem with the time right now, because I'm just setting up my time, so whatever's convenient
But
with
if
the
we,
other
if
board
we move
members,
to
I
Tuesday,
am
then we don't have, it.
cooperative.
We're always on
I like the
Tuesday.
Tuesdays now.
So
I like
if you'll
a
go check
consistent
the other
day.
time and just let us know.
And what's this, the first Tuesday?
Second Tuesday.
The second Tuesday. See, I can know where I am.
Tuesday, that's
Second Tuesday is good.
the way it is right now.
All of these are second Tuesday, Susan.
Yeah, also you do.
Okay. So Susan, if you
It's
would
the
go
time-
back
it's
and
the
check.
time that
I
we're
don't
gonna
want,
time.
I don't want to play hardball, don't even worry about me.
This is the same thing.
Huh?
So we good.
It's all good.
But 3:30, that's the
We would
worst
all
time
feel
in the
the
world.
same way if we had that privilege.
I don't even get a chance to see mine.
Next section of the agenda is information for the board. We've got the status of agency personnel, where you can see we've hired a number of new employees, and we are actively interviewing and moving along with the next round of employees. The telephone report is in there, the technology report, the integrity report, and overtime and staff morale. Any of these you want Ms. Elliott to talk about in depth, please let her know. I was happy to see the number of phone
I
calls,
am happy to
October
see-
to
yeah.
October, had dropped.
I am delighted to see zero frozen. I mean, for a long time, position was frozen. And at one point, there were more frozen positions than there were interviewing and seeking unfrozen. So I'm delighted to know that we have zero frozen positions.
That
I
is-
have a question about on the vacancy report, some of the reasons for a thing being vacant is resignation. Is there any consistency, is anybody given a survey that, they can, to explain the reason for the resignation? There's lots of good
Exit
reasons,
report.
but,
Exit interview?
uh-huh.
When they meet with Human Resources prior to leaving, they do an exit interview, and they do a survey during that exit interview.
I was just thinking, as much time and money is placed into training employees to see whatever suggestions they have to keep people happy would be really nice if we could take some of that advice, and some of it could be the technology.
I don't think,
Some
don't
of
think
it's
we've
been
ever received an exit.
relocation. Some of it's been family illnesses, relocation, and they're finally getting an opportunity to work in their field of degree. So it hadn't necessarily been because they've been unhappy.
Is
here
that a
lately.
report we can get sometime? Because I don't recall ever seeing any summary of an exit interview, or maybe some of you who've been longer than I have, or maybe I missed it.
The exit interviews are really building confidence with the employee in
Oh.
HR, because there's a lot of things they ask in there that they might have to be willing to share. If the employee shares something that's of a matter that needs to be investigated or an allegation, then that is shared with the department. But otherwise, it's really it's a tool that's kind of kept more in-house that HR just keeps on file. The agency could always choose to do a exit interview.
Oh,
themselves, too. But that would be up to you.
Well, see, isn't it that an exit interview, it will help build the weaknesses of the department and help us improve on where we may be down as far as losing people, that we are able to keep them, rather than, is that something?
Is there a section in the exit interview that requests suggestions for improvement?
It's a very comprehensive exit interview. Yes, I mean, it covers every phase of employment, from training to benefits to salary to your supervisor. It's very comprehensive.
Maybe a comment. What I'm saying is, if it's something there that can make the department better. Sure. We should be able to grow from an exit interview.
I suggest maybe doing something internal to the department,
We
within the
can, we
department.
can certainly take a look at that and see what we can do from that standpoint. That's not a problem.
Any other questions for items in this section that Ms. Elliott may could answer?
I will say we did the overtime and morale as a result of a question y'all raised at the retreat. You were getting some concerns and wanted to talk that through, or at least catch up on where that was.
I swear, I thought that was nice.
Part of it, I think what's gonna make, and these are all wonderful things, but I think a good part of will be when they don't have to do so much overtime.
I know.
And spend so much hours doing their job, that having more time with family and
Right.
friends and have a life would make them really
Yeah.
a morale booster.
Yeah, we don't disagree with that at all. The money was also a morale booster while we could pay it, but we do not have that enough money anymore to do that. So, but I don't disagree.
Well, with the extra employees, we should
That's
be
gonna
in
bring it
pretty
down.
good
Yeah, yeah,
shape. We should.
yeah.
And I think, we've been, and I've been asking questions along too about technology, because that's a good time saver as well.
Yeah.
And are we up to speed with our technology? And if so,
That's the ones that we're hiring now. That's the responsibility, is we hire these new employees. Are they capable and can they do the job using this new technology? I think that's a big responsibility as we interview the people to have.
And in the income maintenance side, the state has provided the technology, and we're required to use the technology that they've provided. And it's a learning curve, is the big thing right now with the technology.
Other questions?
There was something about telephones at one time where people who go out in the field have them, is that there or not there? Or
We do have the smartphones for all of the social workers that are going out in the field, so they have access to anything that a smartphone would allow them to do.
Okay, because that's important
It is.
for the social workers' safety. and
Right, it's a safety
everything.
issue too.
Other questions? Then, as a wrap-up, I would remind those who may be viewing at home, holiday cheer and adult holiday cheer. If you are interested in participating in those two activities, please contact the agency. Joy Boykin handles the foster children's side, and Retta O'Quinn and Tammy Corbett handle the adult side. These are folks who, every little bit makes a difference, so if you are moved to do that, we would greatly appreciate it. We'd also like to congratulate Miss Mary on her win in the election last week and her move to the Board of County Commissioners.
Thank you.
And wish her well as she takes her oath in that slot, I guess, December.
December 1, Scott said,
Okay.
9
And,
o'clock. Thank you for
Are we
your-
all invited?
Everybody in the world is.
It's an open meeting, that's right.
Any other comments from the board before we adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
before, I just want to say thank you for adding page numbers for each of these agenda items. It's helped me not.
We are refining and trying to get it so that we are not all shuffling while we're up here. Anything that you have in terms of feedback from today, I'm sure staff would appreciate it. Otherwise, at 55 minutes, we are adjourned.
We need to sign the minutes now, we just realized that.